Good evening. Welcome to another episode of DraxBytes. Hey, wanted to talk a bit about tech. Last week was the memorial of 9/11. Tons of tech gets always discussed in the 9/11 conspiracy theories. Tons to read if you're into that sort of thing. But tonight, we're going to talk about tech that is going to impact your life. How many of you saw the Apple announcement iPhone release last week? Now, for most part, a phone is a phone. It looks the same as any other device. But the interesting thing to note is the dramatic changes that are taking place in machine learning, artificial intelligence, augmented reality. If you consider the concepts that the new iPhone is going to have 6 cores in the CPU, most people's laptops are dual core. Think about that for a moment. Its GPU will have 4 cores, but its neural engine will have 8 cores. To give you some idea, that's 30% more processing power than the CPU has. But what's more salient and more obvious, actually, in the concepts of what we do, is considering that they're developing a neural engine with 8 cores. That last year's neural engine did 600 billion operations a second. 600 billion. Now, this new neural engine will do 5 trillion, 5 trillion operations a second. I'd like to talk to you a bit about how you stem the tide of machine learning, robotics, and artificial intelligence. Because you see, it's not going to be too many years into the future that technology is going to replace all of the mechanical tasks that we used to perform as DJs or even as photo booth operators. Things like adjusting focus and depth of field, those things will automatically be determined based on historical algorithms, historical data. For the DJ, that's going to be looking at connected devices. We've all heard about the Internet of Things. There's an event called Singularity. That's where everything comes together and machines become more intelligent than humans. And they're on their way to doing that. Giving machines the ability to think, that's what machine learning is. The machine develops a way to learn how to do a task better and faster and more accurately than the last time they did the task. So what does that have to do with being a DJ or a photo booth? It has to do with talent. It has to do with what you bring to the table that is non-repetitive, that is non-mechanical, non-machine based, that's not a process of software, that's not a process of an algorithm. On the DJ side, contemplate that in the very near future, machines will select music better than you, they'll mix it better than you, and they'll have access to a worldwide library larger than you could ever dream of owning. You've all seen the issues with media companies moving to streaming solutions. In case you didn't get the announcement, buying music on iTunes is coming to an end. After that, it'll be Apple Music only. It will be streamed. You see that with the rising trend in consumers with Pandora and Spotify and a variety of other services. These things will eventually license in the commercial arena. Jukeboxes, which we all used to think would go and they'd click in, they'd drop their quarter, and a disc would play. That's not going to happen anymore. That's all going to be streamed. In fact, it largely is being streamed presently in many locations. Again, coming back to what does that mean to you? It means you've got to become better at something that matters to consumers. You need to become better at a topic and a task that is irreplaceable. And there is one that will buy you at least 30 years. Be human. Be engaging. If you're doing photo booth work, be outgoing, bubbly, effervescent, be engaging, be fun. Make that experience fun. As the DJ, be the same way. What does that mean for you as a DJ? It means learn to be a master of ceremonies, not an MC, an EMCEE, or an MC, or a guy that goes boom, ta-ta, boom, ta-ta, boom. No. Be an articulate master of ceremonies. Study diction, study pronunciation, learn to speak clearly that you could be heard. A good example is learn to speak well enough that you would not need a microphone to be heard and understood. Because what you find is that's not volume. It's projection, and it's diction, and it's elocution. You can gain these things by taking public speaking courses. But ideally, I would tell you to take theater. Learn to be an actor. Why? Because in the end, one of the great things that comes with acting is the development of dialect, the development of elocution, of diction, because many theaters still don't use microphones. So as you speak from the stage, you need to speak in a manner that's clear and concise. What it means for you is hone your skills. There's a number of great resources on microphone techniques and skills. Randy Bartlett has a great seminar and workshop companion to that. Mark Farrell has a great series of workshops on a variety of master of ceremonies related tasks and functionality, including speaking, announcing, and other such things. Peter Mary offers education on a variety of topics dealing with those exact things. Because I promise you, folks, the future is coming. And the future belongs not to the bold, not to the smartest. It belongs to those with talent. Have you got talent? I hope so, because without it, the future doesn't look so bright. But if you have talent, the future will look so bright, you gotta have shades. This is Drax. It's been fun to be with you. Hope you enjoyed this little nugget. Put your comments down below. Let us know. You can reach out to me at Hugo Drax on Facebook, or you can ping me at office@adja.org. If you're not a member of ADJA, it's a great time to join because it's a good time to take advantage of the nearly 120 hours of educational content that's available to you for free. If you're not a member of the Photo Booth Association, you do photo booths. Again, we've got probably 30 to 50 hours of great content geared for you in the photo booth arena. But we'll be back next week with another episode of DraxBytes. We're going to talk about some cool things. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of some contract ideas that keep still floating around. Like, can I keep people's money on a short-term booking, and then if they cancel short-term, expect them to pay? An idea would be like a client books you 60 days out, they sign a contract, give you a deposit, and 30 days out, they quit. Some DJs think that they are then due the balance. We'll discuss that next week and tell you what your real legal options are and what your likelihood of collecting are. Until next week, keep working hard and have a great life. Good night.